Noob, 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 noob.
Tango, 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 tango. Dude,
Hi.
Shohei Ohtani, you are a insert team name here. Will we be able to answer that question by the end of this podcast?
I don't
Time is
know.
imminent.
We could be answering that question at any moment in time or in
Yeah.
like a week from now.
Sources say he's going to be signing soon, even possibly today. But I'm worried that that source is, trust me, bro.
Well, yeah.
So I
Who
don't
is
know
it?
what's going to happen.
Morosi this morning came out and said signing imminent, possibly as early as today. And then some guy from Dodgers Nation says it's over.
First of all, imminent can mean different things for different people. Like, what kind of time scale are we talking about? It's so vague. I have trouble like relying on something that says imminent on the internet, especially.
That's been the problem all week, I think, is like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and nothing's happened yet.
Nothing has happened. But there's some things that have happened, though.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of rumors have happened.
A lot of rumors have happened. A lot of rumors are happening. I did see where the Giants are officially out on him.
No surprise there. I don't know. I get the feeling, were the Giants ever really in it? Like, I feel like that's the team out of the teams that people thought maybe he would sign with. That's the one we've heard about the least, and maybe that's a good thing because obviously, like, he wants his privacy and everything. But
absolutely, do we think Dave Roberts screwed that up for the Dodgers? If he ends up signing with the Jays, how much is Dave Roberts just like saying they met with him a reason why he didn't sign with the Dodgers?
You know what? It's going to be a funny thing to look back on, because if he doesn't sign there, everybody's going to point to that, including myself, probably. And
I'm going to too. It's just going to be too fun.
He's not going to look great, let's say, but I don't really think that is going to factor much into it. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, like, nobody said anything about it when he was there. And this is what, like 3 days later or something, they said, a couple days, it was 2 or 3 days later. And he didn't really say anything that nobody wouldn't have known. Like, of course he's going to meet them. Like, of course. True. There's no way the Dodgers weren't going to have that meeting, right? So,
but also, I guess I'm just playing devil's advocate. If he just said that as a tester, like, how will this team be loyal to me? Yeah, he might know that everyone else knows this, but it's like, can I trust these people? Can I trust these people in the Dodgers, like, to do what I ask if I have a request? And granted, I don't even know if that's a tough request, although, of course, I'm not officially in any organization, but like, if you follow this simple request, it could help out a little bit,
Yeah, I guess, we'll never know. It's going to be a lot of speculation. I think if this was a deciding factor, I think it's kind of hilarious. But I also, like, I mean, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Like, there was all those reports that, okay, it's believed. Nobody has confirmed that Shohei was actually in Dunedin, Florida at their complex. Like, it's believed he was. He probably was. It makes sense. The Rogers Center is under renovation right now. You can't really show him much of that. It's basically just a wasteland. If you see any pictures or anything of in between, it's just full of construction vehicles and everything. But, the Florida complex is crazy. I don't know if you've seen it. I should send you the video of it. There's like the promo video from it's like 4 minutes long, and it is like insane. If I was a professional athlete, like, especially baseball player, obviously, like, it looks like a crazy place to be able to, rehab or work out in the off season or just, do whatever. But still, nobody from the Blue Jays has been like, hey, we were all there. They were just like, no, I can't say where, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not at the winter meetings. No big deal. That was Ross Askins, right? He's like, I'm not telling you guys where I am.
Yep. He followed the rules.
It's been a point with him where a lot of Jays fans have been previously a little bit, upset or annoyed when he's doing maybe a press conference about anything, and he never really gives us any real answers. But in this case, I think it's like his ability to kind of be vague and keep his cards close to the vest could really pay off.
Doing his best AA. doing his best. Alex
Man,
Anthopoulos.
AA is just sneaky, man. He just he pulls off things you didn't expect. I mean, we could talk about that. The first move really of the offseason, Jared Kelenic.
Braves getting Jared Kelenic.
Jared Kelenic going to the Braves.
I didn't hear anything about a potential trade, and the first I heard of it was when you texted me, and you just texted me Kelenic ? And I was like, I didn't know what to think of it because I had no idea. So I just looked at Twitter, and I was like, Kelenic to the Braves for Owen Murphy and Cole Phillips, I think. Just like that is nuts. Also got Marco Gonzalez, but
who's gone. See ya.
Sending him to Pittsburgh for cash money, homie, and Evan White, who's, I mean, he got
sent down, right? He's already gone down.
He got option in AAA.
Yeah,
he got option in AAA, but he's had injuries, and he was once highly touted.
Yeah.
And Jared Kelenic, he's got like 5 more years of control left, and he started off really, really well last year.
He was crazy.
For that upside. If anything, I mean, he had a 2-WAR year. If anything, he's an excellent left fielder and the lefty bat that can replace Eddie Rosario. Plus, I mean, team control for 5 more years.
Yeah, he was only 24
for 2029. Yeah, he's like, it's not like he's 28 or something. It's not like he's a Bradley Zimmer from the Guardians, who is just,
Blue Jays legend Bradley Zimmer.
Yeah, sorry, Bradley Zimmer, for catching strays. And I like you. I like you. You have a solid baseball family. Kyle Zimmer's out there too. But dude, I don't know what the Mariners are doing. I mean, if you're trying to unload money, I don't think the answer is to trade someone who is still super highly touted, still has a lot of upside with 5 more years of control. And even if they do sign, if they dump this salary to sign a guy like Bellinger, it's like, why do that? Because Kelenic can basically, he could turn into Bellinger, and he's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper for the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's hard to really understand. It's hard to understand what's kind of going through their mind. Like, they've been so close and done really well the last couple of years. And then to just kind of, like, it just doesn't seem necessary, all the moves they're making. Like, you know, if you trade away Suarez and Kelenic and then you trade for Randy Arozarena and Isaac Paredes from the Rays or something like that, like, does that make your team that much better?
Yeah. How much of a net positive is that?
Right. Like,
did you even save any money that way? Randy's probably going to get some pretty good cash on arbitration, I feel like. Same thing with Paredes if he keeps mashing like he's been mashing. Like, that dude, I did not think that dude was going to be a power threat as much as he is nowadays. I thought he was going to be more of like a contact hitter, maybe a doubles guy. But
a crazy year he had. Like, I don't know. It's one of those guys that, like, is this him now, or was this just like that one outlier year where he just like went off? So
is this his Brady Anderson arc?
Is this his Bobby Abreu stretch?
I mean, good for him. That's a long stretch. Sorry to you, Bobby Abreu fans.
Just kidding.
Bobby Abreu
Paredes is not Bobby Abreu. But Bobby Abreu, Hall of Fame, we said no. We said no. If you didn't hear it, check our last episode. Yep. We said no.
Perhaps on a different ballot, he would get my vote this year, but
we'll see. I saw
not this year.
I saw on Twitter somebody was just posting someone's ballot, and they said this is like the best one I've seen, and I think it literally was exactly every single guy you picked.
Really?
So apparently you're just the smartest baseball person on Twitter. And
I know ball.
You know ball.
I switched that would beg to differ, but I know ball.
Yeah, Jerry DiPoto and the Mariners, and I feel bad for Mariners fans because it's been so exciting for them the last couple of seasons, and to just really have these kind of moves happen, and then for them to be like, oh, we have like what, a 20-30 million or something in payroll for the year. I think they gave a number, something like that. It's kind of like, what's that going to do? Really I don't know. Like, they literally were. They could have, if they would have won, like 3 or 4 more games, they would have won the division. They end up missing the playoffs completely, but that's how tight it was last year.
I don't understand. That West is going to be a less of a dogfight now if the Mariners keep doing what they're doing. But I mean, you're just giving. It seems like they're giving up. It seems like they're giving up. I don't understand what's going on. Like, their pitching is amazing. Their rotation's probably one of the deepest that I can think of. Like, next to the Blue Jays, and especially if the Blue Jays get a good Manoah or even like a Manoah that's in between the last 2 years. That's still a very deep rotation.
And even like a
assuming everyone stays healthy.
4.5 ERA Manoah like is not a bad fifth starter, right?
If he gives 180 innings, 4.5 ERA, that's solid right there.
Especially when he's going to be making like maybe $1 million this year. Like his salary last year was only like 700,000. Like so, but yeah, the Mariners rotation is crazy, and you even forget like Robbie Ray missed like so much time. I forget he's even there. Because everybody else has just been so good, and they just kind of come out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, we're just the greatest young pitching staff." They have so much youth.
What are you going to get from Robbie Ray? Yeah, their youth. I think we forget that Luis Castillo is like 31, 32. I feel like he's 35 for some reason, but he still shoves. Kirby, Logan Gilbert, a couple other ones. Brian Wu came up.
Yeah. He was looking good. I saw him pitch against the Jays in the summer, and Wu looked good. He was dotting up like 98 on the black.
Dude, if he's not Ric Flair for Halloween every year, he loses Halloween. I don't even like
Asian Ric Flair.
Yeah, I don't even like wrestling, but I think that's a slam dunk.
So we've had a couple other moves. I mean, we saw Eduardo Rodriguez, the Arizona Diamondbacks, trying to bolster their pitching depth.
Love that get for them. That's
great.
Great get. I mean, no more bullpen game in Game 3 of the World Series this year. Assuming everyone stays healthy. Like Merrill Kelly's getting old though, so hopefully.
But how old is old for?
True.
For a pitcher, you can be like have your best season at 38 as a starting pitcher.
You're not wrong. But
what did he get? What, 80 million over 4 years with potentially up to 100 million? Like, not too bad.
That's not too shabby whatsoever, I don't think. I would have loved for the Braves to have done that. I think that's a good get for any team right there.
I think it's just still so funny that he vetoed that trade to the Dodgers, and now he's going into their division to face them.
That's hilarious.
Like he must have something. Maybe he knows something that Shohei knows. Don't go to the Dodgers.
Yeah, don't go to the Dodgers.
Sorry, Freddie.
Maybe it's one of those things where
we love you, Freddie.
one of those mental things where it's like you have to make something up inside your mind to make you angry to perform. And maybe Eduardo Rodriguez's thing was like, ever since growing up, like the Dodgers don't believe in me. So
it's like
I will show them. And that is the metaphorical chip on his shoulder, And that's why he is where he is today.
The Michael Jordan Last Dance meme of, and I took that personally.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Oh man. What about another lefty that we haven't even discussed yet? A big lefty, a bat who will be wearing pinstripes this coming year and perhaps many more years.
Who? He was wearing pinstripes last year.
I'll give you one name.
They did it.
Juan Soto. I totally forgot about the Padres pinstripes.
They're sneaky nice. I like those uniforms.
I like them a lot, actually. What do you think?
Juan Soto. I've been so caught up in Blue Jays Ohtani Twitter for the last week that I literally forgot that Juan Soto is now a member of the New York Yankees. I haven't thought about that once today until you just said it.
What a 1-2 punch with Judge and Soto. Like, how much does that move the needle for you as a Jays fan in the East? Do the Yankees scare you more now? I mean, how much more do they scare you?
Oh, that's a tough question to ask.
Got to scare someone more
or to answer.
But how much more?
Because last season was kind of the first year that almost since I can remember where they're really there was a certain point in the season where the Yankees just weren't relevant really anymore. For the majority of the season, it was just kind of they had a good stretch at kind of the end of August, I think. And then it was okay, maybe, but then they never really made a serious push to make the playoffs or anything like that. But, I've been a Blue Jays fan for a long time, and the amount of seasons I've seen where the Yankees were not relevant is very, very small. So I never count them out of anything. And then obviously, I mean, you get a guy like Juan Soto, who's what, 25?
25.
Insane talent. Hitting what, right behind the best hitter on the planet right now, arguably.
I would say so. He's the best righty hitter, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's dangerous. I mean, you look at the rest of their lineup and it's just kind of a lot of, well, if this guy performs to where he should be, they should do well.
And you're getting 25 years old. I think his career OBP is like 410, 420 even.
It's nuts.
Like he's going to get on base. Like
it almost makes me want to have him almost like do you want to hit him ahead of Judge because he's on base so much? That's
true. That's very, very true. Or I mean, if he is on base, if he gets on base so much, if you put Judge ahead, then if Judge is on base, he's likely going to get to second base half the time. That's it's like there's many different ways you can do it. And of
so
course
who hits cleanup then?
I don't know.
Who do they have? Like, who are the options? I don't know. DJ or Verdugo?
Is he going to be healthy? Oh, yeah. I forgot about Verdugo. I forgot about that. An interdivisional trade.
Yeah, I'm glad he went to the Yankees because Verdugo has been one of like my top hated players, being a Jays fan the last 5 years, and now he's on my most hated team. So perfect fit.
Perfect fit.
Oh yeah.
I guess they got Trent Grisham too.
I don't think we'll see him start too many games. I guess he does have reverse splits, so he might get in there against lefties over Verdugo, and then maybe in those games he plays center and Judge plays right. Because there's a lot of talk now about Judge is going to be more or less playing center field.
I did hear that. So I guess their projected outfield is going to be Aaron Judge in center. Does Juan Soto in right, and I guess left field Verdugo. That's probably most of the time.
Yeah, I think so.
And how long is Dominguez out?
I don't know. I think it's a decent amount of time. Let me just check here. Jason Dominguez injury.
Man, because that would be a fun outfield to watch if he was healthy.
Estimated recovery 9 to 10 months. So what's 10 months from September? 7, like maybe late in August, July? Maybe end of July, August. So half the year, a little over half. Yeah, unless he pulls a Bryce Harper and like comes back tomorrow.
I would honestly hate that for him. I think he should, at his age, I think he should wait. I think he should play it safe. If I was him, or if I were a Yankee fan, I'd want him to take his time, unless the Yankees are like so close in a race during that time, and you think Jason Dominguez could help out some, then maybe you speed that process up a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, I don't see him not playing at the end of the year. And you know what? Here's the thing. Worst case, if the Yankees fall out of it again, you probably just move Soto at the deadline, recoup some prospects, and like maybe try and sign him in the offseason. Like it's not going to make any difference if he finishes the season with the Yankees or not, right? Like if they do what they did with Aroldis Chapman, ship him off to a contender, he goes and does really well somewhere else, and then you just give him the whatever he gets in the offseason, however many hundreds of millions.
Intriguing deal. Like, could you? Oh man, I know they want to extend him. Like, you have to be out of your mind to not want to extend Juan Soto if you just traded for him.
Oh yeah, so that's like the first thing I would do.
That talk has to be happening now. I mean, if he got traded to the Braves, Alex Anthopoulos would have already signed him to a 12-year, $85 million deal. Like, let's not get ourselves. But that is very interesting.
Yeah, it does really sound like he, no matter what, he wants to test out his free agency, which I think is probably why, like, the Padres didn't. Like, I know they're having money issues, but I think they've known this probably since they got him, and they didn't want to try and extend him. Giving giving Xander Bogaerts that money, like what a waste of money last year. Now
was literally just about to say that. Like, you have Xander Bogaerts, you could either sign him for 12 years or you could sign Juan Soto for 10 to 12 years, and you pick Xander Bogaerts, who's a great player, don't get me wrong, but Juan Soto has been putting up numbers like on a very rare list, on a very select list by the time through age 25 season. Like, only a couple other people have done as far as like home runs, OPS, on base percentage. He's one of the best pure hitters.
Seemed like the Padres were just collecting shortstops the last few years. Like, everybody.
Fernando's a great outfielder now.
Platinum glove.
That's crazy. That's
best defender in the National League.
So you're saying 2 years from now, Xander will be a Gold Glove left fielder?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but maybe. You never know. You never know.
He's not really known for his defense, from what I hear. I don't think he's very fast.
Xander? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think that contract's going to age very, very poorly.
I just can't believe how long, like, how many of these, like a shortstop, you don't see too many shortstops playing until they're 40, 41. Like, everybody's contract went that long.
Yeah, I think Dansby's the only one that didn't go out of that class. Like, Turner's going to be on the Phillies until he's 40. Correa's situation is a little bit different, but he originally signed for that kind of a deal. Although Dansby's OPS plus is only 99, but his glove is incredible. He still put up a 4.8 WAR season.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what kind of a contract Bo Bichette will end up getting in a couple years here.
That will be interesting. 2 more years?
Yeah, he's got two more years yet. 2 more full seasons with us, and then we'll see. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Jays extend him? Who's his agent?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even think. I can't think far ahead right now.
Once Shohei signs with the Blue Jays, then oh
my god,
then we can start thinking about that.
It's insane. It is insane. Blue Jays Twitter's crazy. Everything I've seen. I don't know if you saw, but somebody from Dodgers Nation posted, "It's over. Congrats, Toronto." Wrote an article. It's up there. It's published. I believe it's still living up on the internet right now. It hasn't been taken down. And
do those sorts of articles get taken down?
I don't know. I mean, if they were, I don't think it would get taken down until 100% he was wrong, because you also want it to live there in case you're correct, because then you were the first person to put it out. That's right. True. And you want that. True.
Very, very true.
Because I mean, it's still sitting up there. And the guy who wrote it, this JP Hornstra, he's a member of the Baseball Writers Association of America. He's not a Hall of Fame voter, but he's a member of the BBWA, so he's not like a nobody.
I was about to say, what do you think his ballot was like? Do you think he's one of the guys that sent a blank ballot in?
I looked on the site. He is not. He's not a voter.
That's a shame.
I don't know. We'll see. Things are crazy. I'm literally. I'll give you. Well, obviously I'm biased, but my thought right now is that it's done. Maybe the ink hasn't hit the paper yet. My gut feeling is telling me that they've reached an agreement, and the Dodgers possibly have been informed already.
Maybe.
But the Blue Jays are trying to shut it down until they can be the ones that are like, hey, here it is, boom. And I think it's going to be even more money than people think. I think it's going to be over 600.
Over 600. Do you think that's going to be the base of it, or do you think there's going to be like bonuses and like milestones to hit as far as like maybe innings or Cy Young?
Yeah, I think if anything, it's going to be like almost non-baseball incentives. Like the things that Rogers can offer as far as like, Rogers, I think, is the only team. I don't know if they're the only team in the league. I don't know how it works with other teams, but Rogers like owns streaming rights for Blue Jays games and that they can sell to Japan. I'm pretty sure. So if they're like, hey, you can have a percentage of this, maybe once your contract's over or right now, or like, I don't know how it all works. Because I heard somebody tweeted that he was looking for potential ownership stake, but then somebody else said like you can't be an active player and actively own the team. But I think there's just a few different things. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if his contract was $700 million.
That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough. But I mean,
it's a lot of dough. If you give him like 12 years,
what he can bring in, like he basically has a whole country behind his back.
That's the other thing is it almost, not that it doesn't matter what he does on the field, obviously that matters, but
right, yeah,
it's almost more beneficial everything outside of like him actually playing baseball.
Yeah,
like he's in like unheard of talent. The brand of Ohtani is like bigger than anything that we've ever seen.
Basically, most talented baseball player we've ever seen.
By far, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's so weird to me that, you know, I always thought we'd probably get to a point where we'd have a two-way player. But to have a two-way player who is the best at both or like close to the best at both is insane. That any other two-way player would still be so awesome to see. And now it's kind of like the next two-way player we're going to see is not going to be even close. But without Shohei Ohtani, if Shohei Ohtani was never in the picture, that let's say a two-way player, you know, started 20 games, had a 4.5 ERA, had 400 at bats, hit 20 home runs, we'd be like, oh my God, that's incredibly valuable. But now it's like Shohei has set the bar so high. Like it's just kind of nuts for me.
10 WAR season, missing about just under 30 games last year. Where can I see his pitching WAR?
Maybe Fangraphs? I'm a baseball reference nerd. I don't know.
Like his pitching WAR was 4. Like if you can have a guy who's like a 6 or 7 hitting WAR and like a 5 or 6 pitching WAR over a full season, like that's like what does a guy like? Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top pitchers, like the top paid pitchers, Scherzer, Verlander, DeGrom, Garrett Cole, like I'd put Ohtani up there. Like he has the potential to be as good or better than any of those guys in any given season.
I agree.
And then as far as like hitters, I mean, he was on pace to hit like 53 homers this year.
Yeah, he would have been close with Olsen to lead the league.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at what does Matt Olson get paid per year? Do you know?
Let me see. I'm not sure. I think the AV is going to be right around high 20s, maybe like
22 or at least 22.
20, yeah.
In 2024 is what he's making.
How could I even say 28? Of course, he's on a bargain with AA. Of course.
Yeah, he's making basically 22 a year. Yeah, so like what, 22? So Matt Olson, 22 million. And if you look at Max Scherzer, 43 million, that's what, 65 million?
65 to 70.
For, 65 million a year for 12 years. That's, I don't know. Who knows? I just don't think that anything is really out of the possibility. And I think that's what Ross Haskins and the Blue Jays and Rogers are willing to do is like, I think to get him away from signing in LA, it has to be like, obviously everything else is taken into account, like your training facilities, the team, the management, everything. But I think if the money was even, he would go to the Dodgers. But I think that we're going to like, it's like part of it makes me a little bit fearful, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. It's not my money. I'm super excited. Not that I don't care, but like, obviously I want it to, be worth it, but I am fully prepared to be like keyboard defending the craziest contract in baseball history. That's all I can think about.
Let me ask you this. Do you think at any point in this future contract for Ohtani, whether it's the Jays, whether it's the Dodgers, do you think he has an opt-out at any given point under any stipulation?
I mean,
Or,
I don't know. Probably. Maybe there just has to be some sort of like, I don't know if it would have to be like a mutual thing or something.
yeah.
It's so tough because if you're getting this much money, like, are you ever going to want to opt out of that?
That's what I'm
because
thinking.
There's also like, I think the risk is like, if he comes like back and hits 25 home runs next year, DHing is kind of like,
it's like 230.
Yeah. But obviously, like, that's,
and then with the elbow issue,
yeah, it's, there's still a question, like, is he going to pitch again? Like, obviously we all hope so. I think he wants to.
Yeah. I think he'll definitely pitch again. I just don't know if it'll be to the effectiveness of previous years.
Yeah,
I still want him to pitch. I still want him to be like a Cy Young contender year in and year out. I just think baseball's better that way. It's better with the healthy Shohei. I was like devastated when I heard about that like elbow issue in August or September.
It's tough.
I was on the car ride home from work, and it was just, I was so upset because I was like, I don't want this to affect free agency at all for him. And for us as fans, because I think I look forward to the offseason nowadays. I never used to before, but now that we have the internet and Twitter, it's so fun to hop on and see all the hot takes, see all the speculation and rumors in real time. I think that's so cool. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, it's also like baseball free agency is different than other sports. I feel like if you look at hockey or basketball, especially, like, the day free agency starts, like, it's like the top 10 guys sign and it's just a crazy like couple of days. Like, it just happens. Boom. July 1st or whatever it is. I think it's July 1st for the NHL, but yeah, it's just like guys are signing left and right and you're like, holy, this is crazy. And I mean, the NBA is a little bit different now with all their like the Supermax contracts and stuff. Like, you see a little bit less of like guys leaving sort of, because you can get more money if you stay with the team that you're with or whoever owns your rights or whatever and stuff like that. But baseball, it takes time.
I know nothing about basketball.
Yeah. So in the NBA, like, if you are on a team, like, they can offer you X percentage more than any other team is allowed to. So that
is so interesting.
Yeah. So I think it's like a super max, which is crazy. These contracts are like, $40 million a year, but $50 million are going to be soon enough. So, yeah, but baseball always, like, it always kind of takes some time. But I mean, obviously this year, because it's gone from maybe we have a chance, maybe we'll go after him, to like, we are aggressively pursuing, like, all right, okay, to it's like, it's done. And now you're just like, what's going on? Yeah. So I literally can't focus on anything. It's kind of a good bomb. Oh man, it's a good thing that I don't have like a day job right now. Like, I'm at home taking care of my kids all the time, but I'm not like at work, because I would not be productive at all. I would not be getting anything done today.
Dude, yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to be productive. Very hard to be productive. I can do it. I mean, I was kind of the same way during the whole Freeman saga, and then all of a sudden they dropped the bomb on Twitter that Matt Olson was headed to the Braves, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, Freeman hadn't signed yet anywhere, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? What is happening?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Then I was like, well, I guess Freeman's not coming back to Atlanta. And then that little voice in my head was like, but the DH, what if we got both of them?
Oh, could
that
you
would
imagine?
be insane. But like that would have been hilarious, but also just kind of counterproductive, I think, in the long haul, or like the full roster lineup construction, as far as like what a DH should be used for, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I would have loved it. It would have been so fun. And maybe this is just my way of coping with that, but I would love the idea for a DH to be used for all of your starters, like once a week or something, and have a super utility guy come in and give them rest in the field, or having, if that makes sense.
That's kind of like what the Jays did last year. Like Brandon
I think
Belt
it's
was
such a
our
great model.
most of the time DH, but depending on who's pitching and stuff like that, like he would sit, Vladdy would DH, Springer would DH here and there. I think Bo maybe DH like 1 or 2 games, and you kind of like mix it up a little bit between 4 or 5 guys, just to get them off out of the field for a day here and there. You know, it was especially with Springer because he's had kind of some injury concerns the last couple of years, and that's part of why he got moved to right field instead of center too. Well, I mean, we had Kiermaier last year, but I'm pretty sure Varsho is going to be our everyday center fielder this year. So, I got a question for you though, with
Yes.
to go back to, you know, Freddie Freeman and the Braves and Dodgers and all that. Do you feel like what do you feel like something was fumbled there? Like, should Freddie Freeman have been an Atlanta Brave for life? Because it's kind of like after it all happened, it kind of seemed like he wanted to, but things like, what's your take on that? I'm very curious.
I would have loved that, and I thought it was going to happen. I know I heard some things about how his agent kind of fumbled the bag at some point. I don't know if that is true or not. And if that is true, that is just awful for Freddie. Because obviously, if you watched him or like have listened to him talk about anything, his relationship with, you know, Braves teammates and just the people around the organization like Chipper, it's very evident that he wanted to be an Atlanta Brave for life, especially when he came back and they welcomed him in his first appearance at Atlanta as an away player. Like, it is very evident that he wanted to be a Brave his entire career. And I would have loved that. I wanted that to happen. And either way, I would have been glad with whatever we got if we had gotten those years of Freeman in LA, in Atlanta, I would have been so happy. It would have been amazing. And same thing with Olsen. Had it been a different first baseman, had Freddie not been replaced with someone on or above his level, then I would have been devastated. I would have been so mad, so upset. But it's a lot easier to be okay with it when you got a guy coming in who's a couple years younger, who has previously won Gold Gloves, and who now has a 50 home run season under his belt, who is also only getting paid $22 million a year.
Yeah, it's
easier.
If that's the consolation prize, that's not bad at all.
Not bad whatsoever. It has been so nice, and that is kind of, and with the way it happened, it has kind of allowed me to still be a hell of a big fan of Freddie Freeman. Like, I think if they left on bad terms, or if he was like, I want out of Atlanta, bring me, I can't get to LA fast enough, then I would not view him the same way. And I'm very lucky to still have an extremely positive view of Freddie Freeman. And I want nothing but the best for him. I don't want him to beat the Braves. He can go out there, he can hit 400 with 30 home runs and 100 ribbies, and I would be ecstatic. I'd be over the moon. Just don't do that against the Braves now.
Yeah. I don't want him to, you know, like finish out of the MVP conversation. So Ohtani should just stay away from the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So that would push him into third on his own team.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he would be top 3, and then, oh my God, that's just that. It'd be so tough to win MVP in whatever league that Ohtani gets to. Like, what if he doesn't pitch next year and he still wins MVP? That's
crazy.
Insane. That would be insane. I mean, he has the potential to.
He could do it. If he hits 310 and hits 60 bombs, like, you're probably going to win MVP.
DH or not. I mean, it's tough to not give a guy who hits 60 bombs the MVP.
And oh man, I was watching just videos of him hitting home runs in all the AL East ballparks. I'm like, oh, he would just mash when we go to Yankee Stadium. Rogers Center is set up pretty good for lefties.
Dude,
I have another question. Go ahead.
No, you go. Mine wasn't a very question. It's a very vague question. Okay, I'll go. Over under 40 bombs for Soto next year.
Under. Has he ever hit 40?
No, he is not.
I'll go. What do you have last year? 36?
I think maybe
this past season.
35. I think 35 on the nose. 35 on the nose, yes. He hit 35 bombs last year.
35 career high. Mm-hmm. He's only had 2 seasons over 30, pretty much plays all the time. I'm going to take the under. I'll say like around the same, mid 30s.
I'm
over 40.
Super bold right here. I'm going to be super bold. Juan Soto playing on the short porch. He is going to hit 45 bombs next year. 45 plus bombs next year for Juan Soto. I'm calling it right now.
45.
That short porch. Yep. He's either going to be protected by Judge, especially if he is protected by Judge, he's going to mash, I feel like.
Sorry, my train of thought is lost. John Morosi just tweeted, sources, Shohei Ohtani is en route to Toronto today. A representative of his agency, CA, would not comment when asked about Ohtani's travel plans. At this hour, Ohtani does not have a signed agreement with any MLB team, but he's going. He's heading there, it sounds like.
Yeah, why else would he be going there? I mean,
you fly all the way, you clear customs, you do all this to just say no? I don't know.
Does it say he's on a plane right now, or does it say he's already in Canada in a limo headed to Rogers Center right now?
It just says he's en route, but oh boy.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. How are you doing? Are you nauseous?
I'm losing it, man. I'm gonna poop myself, I think.
I feel like that is the correct response. That is a physiological response that I would probably also have.
Oh dear. So the question I was going to ask you is, as an American baseball fan, what do you think if Ohtani goes to Toronto, to Canada? What's your take on that and the game of baseball and its effects there?
Honestly, I don't really know. I just think it's going to be good for baseball in general as a sport. I don't know about how it would affect the US and Canada and that whole thing, but I just am excited to see something different, somewhere different where he's going to go. And I think Rogers Center is going to be super loud. I mean, it's going to have a whole country behind one team, and I think there's something special about that. And I think that's something.
I just ask you that question because I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Jerry Hairston Jr. was talking about, like, hey, you don't want to go to Toronto. You have to listen to 2 national anthems. It's cold there. Blah, blah, blah. It's just kind of like, dude, like, this is what you're doing right now. Like, I don't know.
Dude, that makes zero sense when it comes to a guy like Shohei.
Yeah.
From
and like
what we know about Shohei.
You know what we should do is we should just play I don't know what Japan's national anthem is, but like let's just play 3 national anthems. Like,
yeah,
who cares? Like, to be honest.
No, I think Japan should let Shohei make his own national anthem.
I was saying that the Blue Jays are a team that hasn't had a City Connect jersey yet. Just let Ohtani do it. His team, they can design it. Do like a Jays something with like some Japanese on it. Like, I'm 100% down. Canada will stop teaching French in schools and replace it with Japanese. Like, we're all in. Let's do it.
Yeah. I don't think Jerry Harrison realizes how much just Shohei is obsessed with baseball and nothing else. Like, when he was in Japan, I don't think he left the dorms. I think he just slept, ate, went to the ballpark. That is it. I don't think he gives a hell. I don't think he gives a damn about if it's 60 degrees out or negative 60 degrees out. He's going to get to the stadium. He's going to put in his work. He's going to leave and go home.
We play baseball in the summer.
About anything else. Yeah.
It's indoors. I think like most of the Blue Jays don't live in Toronto year round. Some of them might, but I think a lot of them live in like Florida or in like their home countries and stuff. There's a insane like multi-million-dollar facility. I got to send you the video because I don't know if you've seen it, but I talked about it earlier. Their facility down there is crazy. Which I'm pretty sure that's where Alek Manoah is spending like all of his summer down in Florida. Vladdy's down there. They're all working out. They're all ready.
I'm curious to see how much more in shape they'll be this upcoming year.
Yeah, me too. Who knows? Everything.
Damn it! I suck. I just anytime you talk, I talk. Anyway, I'm just gonna blurt it out. Does the back of your jersey say Ohtani?
No, I'm not that much. As soon as it's official, I'm going on him. This is actually. Can you guess? Can you guess who's on this jersey? It's just a away gray.
Springer.
No, I do not have a George Springer. It's not a current Blue Jays player.
Oh, really? Is it Roberto?
No,
I didn't. Think
don't.
So. I know. I
actually have a really nice signed, framed up jersey that used to be in the background of all of my stuff, but it's in my hallway. Because I might actually take that jersey out and replace it with something else. But no, he does still play. This is a current MLB player, but not a current Blue Jays player.
Oh boy.
Actually, a free agent right now, currently.
Is it Ryu?
No, it is the Stro Show.
Oh man, I totally forgot about Stroman. Oh,
Marcus Stroman.
Totally forgot. My bad.
No, I mean, how would you know? It could be anybody. No. Could have been a Josh Donaldson jersey.
About the other name I said, which is
I wouldn't be wearing that. Unfortunately, he was my favorite baseball player of all time. Well, favorite Blue Jay of all time, and I got to meet him, and he was really nice to me. But hold on, I'm just whatever. Plead the fifth on that guy.
That sucks. I hate that.
No, I do have a Bo Bichette jersey and a Mano. I got a bunch. No Springer though. Yeah. But
I just remember you saying that about that time where you were able to get said signature.
Yeah.
And that's where my mind immediately went. I should know better though. I should know better.
It's all good. It's all good, man. You know? It's a white, older looking one. Anyway, I do also have the signed Vladdy baby blue jersey that I have. Might have to go in that case instead.
That's a great one. Vladdy's just. I want him to do so well next year, especially if they do sign Ohtani. Oh, man. I want their offense to be like the Braves offense of the AL.
Dude, I saw the most hilarious thing somebody tweeted today where it's like, this is what the Blue Jays lineup is going to look like with Ohtani. And it was like, George Springer, single to first, injury, Dalton Varsho comes in to pinch run. Bo Bichette, base hit, Dalton Varsho thrown out at third base. Shohei Ohtani intentionally walked Shohei Ohtani. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. grounds into it in the ending double play. And I'm like, oh my God, that is literal.
And I laughed so hard.
It's everything about it was so funny because it was literally every single Blue Jays game last year.
That's so funny, man. I saw that and I loved it.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, I think, were the only team. I don't think any team had more than one. We had three guys with, I think it was like 17 or more double plays grounded into with Springer, Kirk, and Vlad. Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like a low number for a full season. I'm not even going to lie. It seems like a low number.
I don't know, like 20 times, like, I don't know. Who knows?
Sometimes it feels like you see someone do that 3 times a game. You know, that's why I think it seems like a low number.
But it was not. It was a high number.
Do that so many times. Yeah.
You know what? Actually, fun fact, or at the time, I don't know if the season ended this way, but at one point in time, I was looking at team stats, and the Braves were number 1 in grounding into double plays, and the Jays were second. But the Braves also were like, no, it was in like August. It was near the end of the year.
Oh, really? Wow.
But I think the Braves like also hit 100 more home runs than like the next highest team.
You get on base all the time, you're gonna hit into some double plays.
How many did you finish with? 300 and something homers?
Something like that. I think they tied the record. They tied the record by the Minnesota Twins.
That Twins team, that's so funny that they had that many.
I can't
like everybody hit 30 bombs
too. Juice ball as well.
I miss the juice balls.
Juice ball. Was this your juice ball era too?
I don't know. Last year was Aaron Judge juice ball era. This year is.
That's right. You remember
Atlanta.
hearing about them juicing the balls that they would send to Aaron Judge's games, the Yankees games?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's what I meant. That's what I was implying, that he got juice balls and nobody else did.
Got you. Okay, my bad. My bad. That makes sense. Yeah, that's crazy. That is
the Blue Jays were warning track power last year, so we definitely are not getting juice balls. We might this year. Nothing would be better than Shohei Ohtani coming to a new team and hitting 60 home runs.
That'd be hilarious.
The script is real.
Yep, and then everyone else hits 10 more because of the juice balls.
We leaked it.
Yep. Okay, they hit 307. 307 home runs.
307. Yeah, the Jays had 160, I think. 167 or something. So literally like almost double. That's crazy,
man. That's a number I would expect just the middle of the order to reach, to be honest. Like hitters 2 through 2, 3, 4, 5, I would expect to hit like 160.
Led the league in home runs in 2021, and we were like 17th last year or something. And like Marcus Semien is like the only guy that wasn't. Well, I mean, Teoscar and Gurriel, but I mean, you added like Dalton Varsho at 27 the year before. Like every guy was down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've spent enough time talking about that team. 2024 is a new year. We're on to the new things. Tracking flights.
Tracking flights. Apparently they saw this soccer commits. Like they saw this soccer commits Instagram picture. They matched the cloud coverage up to like current weather and figured out where he agreed to or something like that from that Instagram pic, which is nuts.
Well, as of 9 minutes ago, it looks like his plane this plane that everybody's been watching has crossed over into Canada airspace. So, shit's getting real and things might be going down today. Have you heard all the crazy rumors? Like it started last night with people saying like, oh, all of a sudden this plane is, John Boy was talking about it today, but they're like, yeah, this private plane from Anaheim to Toronto pops up which would be this morning. Apparently the plane is the same. There's a picture Ohtani has of himself with a big jet behind him, and it's the same. Oh. Whoa, what? My friend just said press conference 6 p.m. No, that can't be real.
No way. No way.
Wait, what?
6 p.m. Eastern?
I don't know, but... Okay, I'm losing my mind.
Did you see where Kikuchi apparently reserved a sushi restaurant for like 50 plus people?
Yes, that's what I was going to say next.
That's
so the airplane is like the same model of airplane and Bombardier 5000 or whatever as this picture that Ohtani has with him in front of an airplane. Kikuchi family or whoever. There was somebody who had a funny response to the tweet that was like, it was a surprise party for his wife. Thanks for ruining it.
I saw that. Yep.
And then
that's hilarious.
Yeah, all this like talk about Shohei's dog apparently has something to do with the name. And here's a fun fact that I don't know if you know, but the Blue Jays mascot is obviously a bird, but the name of the Blue Jays mascot is Ace, which Shohei Ohtani is an ace, and like I could see his dog being named Ace. We're grasping for straws here, but
if we didn't like baseball so much, we'd definitely be into astrology.
I don't see that happening, but you could be right.
Definitely be into astrology.
Yeah,
I definitely think that would happen.
It's the
dude. Literally, I'm secretly hoping. Like, of course, I know it's not going to happen, but secretly, part of me is like, dude, I would love it if he signed with the Braves, but my God, I would hate it so much more if he chose the Dodgers. So I'd be super happy if he signed with the Blue Jays. I think that the home uni, would look really good on him. It makes sense. They need a lefty bat. I'd be more than happy with it. More than content.
I'm losing my mind.
He's got to choose someone. He's got to choose someone.
And why would you choose the dog? Like, this is my thing. I'm like,
they're boring.
Why?
You want a new city, man.
The longer this has gone, the more that I'm just like, if he really wanted the Dodgers, he would be a Los Angeles Dodger already. Like,
I think so too.
Right? He probably would have
I
tried
do
to
think so.
say just like last year, like just trade me to the Dodgers, man. Like let's just, hey Artie,
Yeah,
hey
just like
whoever
send
they're
me down the street,
pairing,
man.
like get something for me.
Yeah,
Or
crazy,
like,
man.
but he's not like, yeah, he's been living in LA for how long? Like he's a private guy, but it's still like you're in LA. Dodgers, I feel like, man, the Dodgers, that's like the mainstream team, right? Obviously, and as far as like, you know, Mike Trout has been insane, and like the Angels get a lot of attention. But the Dodgers, that's like you don't see Kobe Bryant. Well, RIP to him, but like Kobe Bryant at the Dodgers games, LeBron James at the Dodgers games. Like you don't really see those guys. Maybe it's also because Magic Johnson like owns part of the team, but
that would make sense.
It's rarer that you see like all these kind of guys at the Angels games, even when Ohtani was there. You don't hear about it as much as, you know, hey, oh, LeBron's here waving at Mookie Betts, right? So
yeah, it just,
I don't know. And I don't think he really wants that. Like, obviously, he's going to get attention wherever he goes.
Absolutely. And I think the Dodgers would be, you know, I've said before that if he goes back to LA, if he goes back to the Angels, that's the least interesting scenario. I think if he goes to the Dodgers, that's the second most least interesting. I can't even speak right. That is the second least interesting destination for Shohei Ohtani. It's still LA.
Yeah.
And I would hate it, of course, as a Braves fan, but I
don't
even think it'd be great for baseball.
It still makes sense. Like I understand the appeal of the Dodgers. Yeah. I get, like, we all get it. I almost feel like if you're going to stay in LA, just stay with the Angels and Mike Trout. Like, try and get that done. Like, I would rather see those two try and like make something happen together than for him to, you know, let Mookie and Freddie and Kershaw, if he signs back, you know, be the face of the Dodgers. You be the face of the Angels. Like, I don't know. Like,
absolutely. No, I agree.
But who knows? Everything is just getting too crazy. This guy apparently, oh my goodness, some Adam Seaborn guy just tweeted press conference 6 p.m. Ohtani handshake emoji Jays. I'm like, what is going on? I'm gonna lose. Oh man,
it's gonna happen. Yo, the trending topics on my Twitter, it's like the trending name Ohtani is beating every other trending topic by like 80,000 posts. Crazy. I think it's just better for baseball overall, though, if he signs with a team that's
not the Dodgers,
LA based. Yeah, not LA based. It's more exciting. I'm not saying that like I think when I said it's bad for baseball, it's not like Ohtani on the Dodgers itself is not bad for baseball. I just think it's a less interesting offseason if he signs with an LA based team.
Yeah.
Since he's been there for so long. Just the variety is the spice of life. Try out the East Coast. You know, don't even try out the East. Try out a different country. Try out Canada.
Try out the Detroit Tigers in the Midwest.
Oh my God! Come to Kansas City.
We are nice. That'd be crazy.
Come to Kansas City. That would be so dumb. I would love being it. I would low key hate it because prices would be high. Although I'd get to see Shohei Ohtani, but I'd get to see him. You know, I get to see him win 5 games on the mound and his team win 60 games.
Like here's my thing, like
not that pitching wins matter; they don't matter.
Like it is an ordeal for me to get to Toronto from where I live. Like I live in Canada, but I have to like drive many hours to a city with an airport, fly across the country. Like whereas like Seattle for me is a 9-hour drive, not so bad.
That's still bad.
Worth it. It's like it's the close. I mean, where I lived before, Minnesota was the closest drive, and it was like 14 hours from where I used to live. So I'm closer.
So long, man.
But it would be like, I'd drive 3 hours, wait at the airport for 2 hours, fly for 3 hours. So it's like basically the same amount of time for me to get it. Time that I have to take to get to Toronto. But I would rather see him at home. Now I think like if Ohtani signs, like if right now this past year I'm like I just want to see the Blue Jays, so I'm going to go to whatever's the closest, kind of the easiest, which is go to Seattle for the weekend or whatever. But like, oh man, see him at Rogers Center.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That'd be something special, man. You got to make that trip if it happens.
Oh, hopefully it doesn't end up like the last time I went to LA was in Kobe's final year, and I went to Lakers game and he did not play that game, and it's like, oh.
That's brutal, man.
I did get to see him once in 2008, so I got to see him play in 2008. But yeah, my now wife and I went to LA in his final season, but he didn't play that game, unfortunately. So I was like this close to seeing Kobe in his final year.
That sucks, man. I mean, I have something similar with Chipper Jones. Like, I think I went to his second to last regular season game, and I think he pinch hit, and that was it. So that sucked. And there's been several other games where I went to, Braves games, where he didn't play back in the day. It was just like the random day off he would get, and I'm just like, man,
did you
that sucks.
Did you live Did you live close to Atlanta before? Like, were you able to go to like home games, or do you like make trips to go see them?
I made a couple trips, and I wasn't old enough to like drive down. I think I drove down when I was 20 with me and one of my friends. It was like 2009 or 2010. We went down for the Saturday night game.
Don't let them know your age. Don't let them know your age.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't let the people know. P.S. Happy belated birthday. Fun fact: Noob and I both had birthdays in like the last week, and neither of us knew until it like already had happened.
Yep, pretty much. I'm bad at advertising it.
That's okay. The older you get, the less you care about it.
I did care pretty not at all. It was chill. It was very chill. But anyway,
that's good.
Yeah, my parents. I'm very lucky enough to have very supportive, awesome parents, and they took me to a couple games, like one in Cincinnati, and I think we were headed to the beach one year in Myrtle Beach, and I think we went out of our way to go see a game or two in Atlanta, and we got to see John Smoltz close a game when he was a closer.
Ooh,
that was
nice.
Super cool. His entrance was dope. Those several years when he was a closer were absolutely dominant. I loved that. He was like my favorite pitcher at the time. I remember I played in high school. We went to a spring break tournament, and we played at the Disney Wide World Sports Complex, and that's where the Braves spring training was held. And I got to pitch off that mound, and I took it's so lame, but I took an empty Gatorade bottle and I took some dirt off that mound.
Yes, you got some dirt. Do you still have it?
Yeah. I don't know if I still have it, man.
Oh man, it's not like a basement box in your parents' house or something.
It might be, and I don't know. We've moved a decent amount since that time.
Yeah.
And just life events happen, and I don't know if it got lost in the move. I don't think it did. I think I still have it somewhere. I'm gonna have to ask my mom about that. But yeah,
that's funny. That's awesome.
I wrote in black marker Smoltzy's dirt on the Gatorade bottle. So that's like my story of like the closest I came to meeting John Smoltz, I guess, is via dirt.
Oh man, I got to like when I was a kid, the first baseball like MLB game I went to, we took a family trip out to Toronto, and I went to a Jays game in 1994. So it was like when there was, they just came off back-to-back World Series, hyped up. I think they lost to the Tigers that game, and then I didn't go to another one until I was like an adult, until like almost 20 years later. When I went on it, took a bus trip down to Target Field. There's like, I don't know, a group of four that I went with, but the bus had like 40 people on it, but and that was really cool. And now I try to go once a year is my goal, is like go ideally to a Jays game if I can, but if I can't, like any baseball game is where I try to go.
Hell yeah. I'm so lucky. I never thought I would be in a place where I could just go on a whim to a baseball game, like MLB game, whenever I wanted to. And I never thought it'd be Kansas City, but I think it's pretty cool. Hey. And one of the worst teams in the league, and low key, for very personal reasons, very selfish reasons, I am glad they're not going to be good for a long time, because that means tickets are going to be cheap for a while, and I'll be able to go to it.
Because it's like, cheap.
It's a win-win for me. Either they get really good and I get to go see some really good baseball, or they're really bad and I get to go to a lot of baseball for less money, even though ticket prices do jump up depending on who's coming to town. So I think maybe regardless, maybe it'd be kind of similar prices. I don't know. But I'm just so fortunate I can go to many games. I went to 10 last year, and that's while
That's
I was super busy
amazing.
with work too. It was incredible, dope, super
I
dope.
just
Saw the Blue Jays.
I wish I lived somewhere that I could go to 10 games, like just, or that I could just like, oh, what do I want to do today? Like go to a baseball game.
Yeah, dude.
Nope.
Yeah.
No dice.
SeatGeek is my friend too. SeatGeek, if you're listening, I use your app all the time.
Yeah, SeatGeek, if you're listening, at the Dish podcast, you can see it right here.
Yeah.
Promo code at the Dish. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let's get that. Let's make that happen, SeatGeek.
Tickets, man. I don't know if I've texted you this, but I was, I just get on Game Time or SeatGeek whenever I can just to look up upcoming prices. Just, I don't even know if I can go to these games or not, but I saw a deal that I just couldn't refuse. And I was like, I don't even know if I can go, but I'm absolutely securing these tickets. It was like $19 a pop before like fees and everything. And they were like, I don't know, 7 rows back behind home plate. And it was just like unreal.
It's crazy.
I saw Jordan hit a bomb from those seats, and it was just nuts.
Yeah, one of the games we went to in Seattle, we were 9 rows back behind home plate, and we were basically like the first row behind where like the section of like this is the section off section that gets like private service and stuff like that. So we like saw them like with their little waitresses and waiters coming up and giving them drinks, and we're just like whatever flagging down the beer guy. But we paid way more than $19.
Dude,
well, a little bit more.
You.
It was also Taylor Swift weekend, so I was like fucking busy.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about that. That's hilarious. Just like the merging of 2 different genres of crowds.
It was crazy. And then this year when the Jays are there is like July 4th weekend, like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 5th, 6th, 7th of July, I think. So they do it on purpose to make money. Like it's going to be and jack up the price, but people will pay it. And it's, oh my God, if Ohtani's on our team.
Oh man.
I'm losing my mind. I've said it many times since we've
refreshing
been talking
Twitter.
today.
That's all right.
I am.
I mean, every time you said it, I believed it.
Plane landed.
I just now saw the Adam Seaborn.
Give me the hockey equivalent of Ohtani going to the Blue Jays. McDavid to the Leafs, bigger, way bigger. Wayne Gretzky going to the only hockey team that existed. You can't compare hockey.
No, can you compare it to basketball?
Well, yeah, it would be like Michael Jordan signing with the Raptors in 1995 or something like that. Like that's how big it is.
That makes sense.
The biggest star in the sport coming to our only team and choosing to come here. It's bigger than Kawhi Leonard. We traded for him. He did not choose to come here, and he won the championship with the Raptors, and then he bailed.
Where's he even playing now? I don't even
plays
know
for the
where that
Clippers.
playing now.
He went to LA.
That's lame. Of course, they all go to LA.
They all go to LA. So yeah, like people, there was somebody that commented on Twitter. I spend too much time on Twitter, maybe, or X. Sorry, Elon.
Yeah. How dare us?
But he was like, would this be bigger than Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors? And I replied, I was like, this would be the biggest thing in Canadian sports history. Like, I don't think you clearly don't watch baseball to understand like how big Ohtani is worldwide. And they're like, yeah, but people remember championships. I'm like, I prefer like thinking about how awesome Vince Carter was for his like 6 or 7 years in Toronto than the one championship that Kawhi won and then bounced after. Like, I think about that more, that he didn't choose to stay there because they probably could have ran it back and maybe made a run at it again. Who knows? We'll never know. But
that's something I think of often about the Braves, about their like continued success, but not necessarily as many World Series titles as you'd want. Like they had that 14 years straight division title streak with 1 World Series win. Would I trade all those division championships for like, let's say they win 3 straight divisions and like maybe 1 more World Series? I don't know if I do that, because just like the exciting baseball I got to see year in and year out with Hall of Fame caliber pitching, Hall of Fame caliber players. I mean, that was just so fun. That was just so fun to watch. I don't think I could trade that for one more World Series title. I really don't.
How many World Series would the Braves have to win for you to justify Ronald Acuna Jr. not being there? Like if they chose to trade him for whatever reason, because for me right now, I would trade. There's nobody on the Blue Jays that I wouldn't trade if the trade-off was we won the World Series. If we win the World Series and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not a part of it, I would take that. Right, that's where I am. Like we haven't won since 1993. So, and we've been in the playoffs, but we haven't won a playoff game since 2016. So like at this point,
I don't know. I guess it depends on like what year. If we're talking about like right now, when he still has many years left with us, it would be different if we didn't win in 21. I would probably say we would need one. But right now, I would say we need two. Like
the craziest part is that he wasn't part of that. That's so crazy to me. Like that they figured it out. That's like a true testament to AA too, and like figuring that out, bringing in who was it, Rosario, Soler, and was it somebody else?
Jock
Duvall
Peterson.
came back. Jock Peterson.
Yes, Duvall. I don't know. Was Duvall there? No, Duvall
was there.
Duvall the year before. I think we traded for Duvall.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, he wasn't brought in. He was already on the team.
We traded for Duvall twice.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of that guy.
I know. He goes everywhere all the time. We got him from Cincy, I think, in 2018. And
Pearl's Jock Peterson.
Left. Yeah, we had him. We got him from the Cincinnati Reds from 2018 to 20. And then he signed with Miami, I think, in 21. And then we traded for him again in 21. And then signed him.
Because, Soler and Duvall both played 55 games for you. Peterson, 64. Eddie Rosario, 33 in the regular season. And, all those four guys were, pretty big time in the
They were great. They just came together so well. I don't understand it. I've never seen anything like it. And then Ian Anderson just lights out in the playoffs. Kyle Wright had a very good start in the World Series, I think. And Max Fried was lights out in Game 6. It's crazy. It was just hell of a year. But anyway, I think to answer that question, I think I would need two if we traded him now. I would need for sure 2 World Series.
For sure, too. Hey, that's good to know.
For sure. Yep.
I'm gonna poop my pants. Like things are just getting too crazy right now. Some guy posted apparently some sort of cell phone video of Ohtani in an airport saying Ohtani has arrived in Toronto, but I don't know.
Crazy.
Make it happen. I just need it to be official. Please, baseball, Lord. Maybe this is blasphemy, but it's we need it so bad it would erase. Here's a funny thing about, I don't know if it's funny or not. Here's a thing about Ross Atkins, general manager of the Blue Jays, and people like to think the Blue Jays don't do anything ever. And he gets a lot of criticism for he's not making a big move. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. At the deadline or even before the season, I'm like, and these are even Jays fans that are saying this. I'm like, have you guys do you pay attention? Right. Yeah, we fumbled the bag maybe with that Paul DeYoung trade, but not every trade is going to work out, whatever. But we brought in the last since 2020, we brought in Hyun-Jin Ryu. We brought in Robbie Ray, and in the 2020 season. I don't think many people even really realize how we got Robbie Ray, but I don't even think we gave anything up for him. Basically, and then the next year he won the Cy Young. Marcus Semien came here, Springer. Kevin Gossman, Chris Bassett, we traded for Barrios, we signed Kikuchi, we traded for Whit Merrifield, and maybe these guys aren't 100% what they were, but all these guys are former All-Stars, they're not no names,
what
right?
Cy Young with you. Marcus Semien had a ridiculous year, top 3 MVP voting, crazy stuff. Really good years.
But
really
also, if this gets pulled off, people cannot say anything about our management. You just can't. The fact that it's even got to this point, I don't think you can. I think it kind of takes that away. Like you just can't criticize them if you're gonna do this and like put this much effort. Like kudos, even if for some reason it's not us.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the best offer possible. You could do whatever it takes, and some players just don't want to play for you.
That's fine. They can all go.
Yep.
GF themselves. Go F themselves.
Girlfriend themselves? That's
GFY. I don't know. They could, Elon to people who don't want to advertise with him. Go fuck yourself. Have you seen that? That's so funny. Oh man, maybe
not. I haven't. Oh wait, maybe I did. I saw what you're talking about, but I didn't actually click play on it, so I haven't.
It was like a press conference with him with like Cybertruck stuff, maybe. I don't know. And they were talking about like I think Disney or some company not wanting to advertise on Twitter, and he's just like, if you're gonna blackmail me with money, like here you go, pal. So it just makes me laugh. I love that he's just like doesn't give a fuck billionaire. I love it.
Yeah,
people have their opinions on him, but like, hey, I'm just gonna make this like this. Have you seen the Cybertruck? This thing's like the craziest looking thing ever. But he's like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Nobody's gonna tell me what I can or can't do.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
we need more of that.
If we say like, if I were to call Elon an idiot, then what am I? What am I compared to that? I'm not a billionaire. I don't own a ginormous social platform. Like, to call him an idiot in my current state would be insulting myself tremendously, I think. Then if he's an idiot, then just I'm an idiot wrapped in a moron, consumed by another just imbecile.
You are not. You're a valuable human being, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, everybody, I think that might wrap it up for today. I'm gonna go literally like crawl into a hole and just continually refresh Twitter until my finger bleeds. I think today.
I think that's. I think it's solid. I think it's a solid call. We're gonna find out soon. 6 p.m. Eastern. That's only an hour 17 minutes from us from this moment in time of this part of the recording. So we got about an hour change to find out.
It might have already if it's already happened by that. Like, I'm not gonna be able to post this by then. We might just have to re-record something later today.
We might. Hey, you just let me know. I think I should be available.
This could be just the hidden pod that was never released. We'll see.
Yeah. It's a practice go.
We just like to talk.
We do.
Or we'll do the emergency
we've been
pod.
An hour 21. We've talked a lot about nothing as well, and that's something we're good at. We go on some tangents. It's beautiful. It's excellent. I know you all go on tangents too. Don't even lie to me and tell me you don't. I know you do.
They love tangents. The listeners. At the Dish Podcast.
Fans.
YouTube. Spotify. Apple, Google,
all of it.
No, Amazon, not Google.
X,
Amazon, maybe
Amazon.
Clips on X,
MySpace.
Like, subscribe, download,
subscribe twice.
Listen to it.
Make a second account and subscribe as well. Make a burner.
We want burners and ghost accounts only.
We know you want to make a burner. If you haven't already, you might as well subscribe to someone on that burner.
I'm going to start so many Ohtani stand burners if he's on the Jays. And if he's on the Dodgers, I might just cause chaos to do the same thing anyway.
You should. It'll be either way, there's going to be another account out there.
Oh, all right, everybody. I appreciate you all. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Ohtani to the Jays.
Comment down below. Later.